The question about why the name of the book. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with whiskey, although there's plenty of whiskey drinking and other types of drinking in there. It's college after all. But there was once in Mississippi a speech that was delivered by a famous legislator, Soggy Sweat, called the Whiskey Speech. And I'm going to deliver to end this with the whiskey speech, which will not do it any justice. I wish we had Ed Perry here to deliver it for you. It would be much better. But the term "if by whiskey" was actually coined by a professor. It wasn't actually coined by Soggy Sweat. And what I discovered is what I'm calling an "if by whiskey" moment. We all have "if by whiskey" moments in our lives where we recognize the truth and the validity and wholeheartedly embrace 100% and totally both sides of an issue. And quite frankly, it's often embarrassing and we don't want to admit it. We think in our heart that we have to say this is right or this is wrong. But oftentimes in life, it's just complicated. And Anna finds herself in that "if by whiskey" moment, wherein she recognizes, as a northern girl who's come to the South, that it's okay to actually like some of the time-honored traditions of the Old South. There is beauty in this wonderful place that has been going on for a long time that people respect. But at the same time, the New South that we have come to enjoy is even that much more special because we have grown as people and we have embraced different cultures that we never thought we would even understand. And we have melded cultures. We are a beautiful melting pot with our rock music and our blues music and our Republicans and our Democrats. And in Anna's case, I can't spoil the story for you, you have to read it, but she finds that "if by whiskey" moment where she embraces both the Old South and the New South, which is embodied in the cover, and of course is has the mediator of a whiskey bottle, which often happens. So as soon as I deliver this, I'm going to go sit over there, and if you want a personal signed copy, I will be glad to give it to you. If you're a host, I've already signed copies for you, and the other copies are $25 a piece. And it would mean a lot to me to have that opportunity to give that to you and to sell this book. I have 4,000 copies. And after they're gone, they're gone. And but if they're not gone, I'll probably find a dumpster somewhere. So, my friends, I had not intended to discuss this controversial subject at this particular time. However, I want you to know that I do not shun controversy. On the contrary, I will take a stand on any issue at any time, regardless of how fraught with controversy it might be. You've asked me how I feel about whiskey. All right, here's how I feel about whiskey. If, when you say whiskey, you mean the devil's brew, the poison scourge, the bloody monster that defiles innocence, dethrones reason, destroys the home, creates misery and poverty, yea, literally takes the bread from the mouths of little children. If you mean the evil drink that topples the Christian man and woman from the pinnacle of righteous, gracious living into the bottomless pit of degradation and despair and shame and helplessness and hopelessness, then certainly I am against it. But if when you say whiskey you mean the oil of conversation, the philosophic wine, the ale that is consumed when good fellows get together, that puts a song in their hearts and laughter on their lips and the warm glow of contentment in their eyes, if you mean Christmas cheer, if you mean the stimulating drink that puts a spring in the old gentleman's step on a frosty, crispy morning, if you mean the drink which enables a man to magnify his joy and his happiness and to forget, if only for a little while, life's great tragedies and heartaches and sorrows. If you mean that drink, the sale of which pours into our treasuries untold millions of dollars, which are used to provide tender care for our little crippled children, our blind, our deaf, our pitiful aged and infirm, to build highways and hospitals and schools, then certainly I am for it. This is my stand. I will not retreat from it. I will not compromise.